All right. Woo. Pretty cool. Hey, it is really good to be standing here in front of all of you. At my age, it's just pretty good to be standing. My wife and I got great news this week. It's kind of a miracle. After decades of trying, we're expecting our first child. Yeah. Yeah. To move out of the house. My 2-year-old granddaughter FaceTimed me the other day, and she was so excited. She's like, Papa, I made it through the night, and I didn't wet the bed. And I was thinking, wow, what a coincidence. She's going through the terrible twos, which, you know, is like really stressful when I babysit. So to go easy, make it easier for myself, I just pour her a little glass of scotch. She's out for the night. No, I don't give her scotch. I give it to her once. It gives her gas. You know, so all night I got a cranky 2-year-old farting all night, so. When it came to raising kids, I was clueless. My wife, and I think maybe women in general, they just know what to do. And I really didn't know. And my wife went out one day. She goes, I'm going to go grocery shopping. It's a short list. Can I trust you and leave you home alone with the kids? I'm like, sure. My wife comes home. She goes, why are you washing the baby in the kitchen sink? I said, because the dishwasher was full. She said, where's his sister? I said, why do you think the dishwasher's full? I use the gentle cycle. It doesn't matter what you do with your kids, you know, as they start to age, no matter what you say, they're going to roll their eyes. And I know it pisses off a lot of parents, but I let them do it because it's the only exercise my kids ever got. And you never know how your kids are going to end up. My son recently came out to me, and I got to tell you, I thought I handled it well. I don't know. I was kind of shocked, and I told him that. I said, you know what? This isn't natural. This is a choice, and it's going to kill your mother when you come out to her as a vegan. Where did I go wrong? Oh, my God. I don't drink because I developed an aversion to alcohol at a very young age. I spent like 8 or 9 months totally consumed in vodka, and then thank God my mother gave birth to me. So I was talking to my mother the other day. You'll be glad to know that she doesn't drink anymore than she did when she was pregnant with me. She was all freaked out. Somebody hacked her Amazon account. And she goes, how could that happen? And I said, well, Mom, somebody knows your password. She said, that's not possible. I don't know my password. She's telling me about her newest boyfriend. And it's like every time I talk to her, she's got a new guy in her life. I'm like, Mom, where do you meet all these guys? She said, oh, there's a website for people my age. It's called carbondating.com. And if you didn't get that joke, let me just tell you this. My son gets that joke, and he's an idiot. And my mom's old, I'm getting old. You know, you're cruising down life's highway, everything is going great, and all of a sudden, bam, your check engine light comes on, and next thing you know, you got aches and pains and stiffness. I'm stiff on every single part of my body, and my wife's sitting there going, not every part. I'm not a hypochondriac, but I swear this stiffness is early onset rigor mortis. Any stiffer and they're going to embalm me. Speaking of embalming, you know what job would suck? Being a mortician would suck because the day after you die, you're back at the office. I got a pacemaker now, and so when I travel and I fly, I can't go through the X-ray screening machines. I have to get patted down by the TSA guys, and by patted down, I mean groped. This guy groped me the other day. I was violated. I got in his face, and I said, dude, can you show my wife how you do that? And you can let go now. You ever notice when you talk to people my age, we seem a little confused? It's because you younger people have changed the meaning of words we've used our whole lives. Like a hacker, that's somebody with bronchitis. If something goes viral, you need to see a doctor. And friends with benefits, it's just a friend with Social Security and Medicare that I'm fucking. We were having a big family gathering a while back, and so I'm going through the pantry. I personally don't believe in expiration dates and sell-by dates and stuff like that. I think they're a marketing ploy. But I came across a bottle of ketchup that was from the year 16 BC. 16 BC, that's 16 years before COVID. So we were having this big feast, and I thought it'd be really festive if I folded the napkins to look like swans. You know how they do that in fancy restaurants. So mine ended up looking like roadkill, but it really excited my redneck in-laws. So everybody was there, my family, my brother and his kids and my kids and grandkids and everything. My sister didn't go. My sister actually doesn't have kids. She actually couldn't have kids. She has an affliction. She's a bitch. She's a mean, nasty, miserable bitch. And she just, like in high school, she was voted most likely to have a house fall on her. Somebody said she can't be that bad. Are you kidding? When I was a baby, she wanted to get me a rattle with the snake still attached. The Jehovah's Witness will not knock on her door. My dad used to go, you know, I love my daughter, but I wouldn't want any of my sons to marry someone like her. So we just put her in hospice. And there's nothing wrong with her, but we're hopeful. Any dog lovers here? Yeah. Love my dog. Love my dog more than my wife. Does. More than my wife does. I'm going to pay for that tonight. When my son was a teenager, he wanted the dog to sleep in his bed with him. And my wife's like, no, what about the smell? I said, she's a dog. She'll get used to it. How about cats? I love cats. Any cat lovers here? Yeah. Great. After the show, let's get together and swap recipes. Calico with a side of fries is, my favorite. No, actually, I love cats. I would love to have a cat, but my wife's allergic to my happiness. So my problem is, I like my women like my coffee, hot and bitter. So my wife, who I lovingly refer to as my little dream killer, she goes, you should see a therapist. You're always acting angry. Who's acting? So I'm seeing a therapist. She's actually really cool. She was telling me she worked her way through college as a prostitute. And I thought that was really cool. And for $300 an hour, she'll blow your mind. and then swallow your copay. This is going to be hard to believe, but she really gets frustrated with me. We're halfway through a session, and she's like, oh, my God, this isn't working. Let's try something different. Let's play a fantasy game. If you could do it over, would you marry your wife again? I said, no. She said, what if that meant you wouldn't have the same kids you have today? And I was like, oh, this game just keeps getting better and better. We just had an anniversary recently. Thank you. Yeah. 43 years. Been together 45. So, like last year on our anniversary, I thought it'd be really romantic to go and have dinner to the place where I proposed. I thought that'd be really classy. And I gotta tell you, 45 years, it hasn't changed. They still serve the Grand Slam breakfast. Yeah. This year, for our 43rd anniversary, we celebrated. Celebrated's a bit of an overstatement. We acknowledged it. We wore our good sweatpants. We shared a box of mac and cheese, and we watched an American Horror Story. She calls it our wedding video. Horror Story, wedding video. Potatoes, zucchini, I don't know. My bachelor party was crazy, just crazy. All these guys, I got all the obligatory gifts. I got glow-in-the-dark condoms. I got 24 helium-filled balloons that were shaped like genitalia. And, of course, I got the obligatory blow-up doll. So after the party, the guys were helping me load my car, and I got all these balloons, and the Santa Ana winds were blowing. And I got all these balloons. One flew off. Can you imagine some guys going, honest, honey, a giant dick just flew into our bumper. But we got all the balloons in the car, and we put the blow-up doll in the trunk. And I'm on the 405, and I'm trying to change lanes, and I can't see because there's all these balloons here, and the guy beeped at me as I was changing lanes. So I swerved back. It was CHP. The guy pulled me over, comes over the passenger side, says, roll down your window. I opened, and a flying dick goes out the window. And he goes, step out of the car. I said, what's all that stuff? And I said, well, my friends at work threw a bachelor party for me. Oh, yeah, what kind of work do you do? I'm a stand-up comedian. Oh, yeah, funny boy, tell me a joke. So I told him a joke. He goes, that's not funny. So I never said I was a good comedian. Then I started getting nervous. And he goes, and I'm looking at the trunk, and then I look away, and he goes, what's in the trunk, funny boy? Nothing. Nothing. No drugs, no bodies, no drugs. And he goes, open the trunk. And I'm like, no. And he put his hand on his holster, and he goes, open the trunk. So I put the key in the trunk, and as soon as I did, a big gust of Santa Ana winds blows, the lid pops up, and the doll goes flying down the 405. And the cop starts laughing hysterically. He goes, now that's funny. Go get your girlfriend, funny boy, and go home. A friend of mine asked me if I wanted to perform at his gay comedy club. I was like, sure, yeah. Wait. What do you mean by perform? I am not falling for that again. Fool me twice, shame on me, you know. So I'm at the club, and I'm in the back room with the green room with all the comics. I'm the only straight guy there, so they're goading me, and they're like, oh, you know, don't you think same-sex marriage is great? Isn't it wonderful? Don't you think it? And I looked at it, I go, no. My wife and I have had the same sex for 45 years. She was just complaining that our sex life, our love life is getting too mechanical. I said, you're the one that wanted me to wear the tool belt. Now give me the screwdriver. Let's see, I recently lost over 100 pounds. Woo! Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So I said that the other night at a show, and somebody in the audience, smart ass, goes, oh, what'd you get, a divorce? I said, no, that would have been 200 pounds. So let's see, I joined a gym. That was a really unpleasant experience. The guy that ran my gym was a real jerk. I was on the exercise bike one day for an hour and a half. An hour and a half, and the gym manager comes over and with a real snarky attitude goes, sir, if you're not gonna pedal, I'm like, dude, I'm coasting. Then he reached over and took one of my donuts. Told you he was a jerk. I don't go to the gym anymore. Like most people my age, I get my exercise walking around parking lots, looking for my damn car. Where is that thing? So my wife said, you know, we should try Viagra. And well, there's no we in this, you know. It's like when my neighbor was moving, she goes, we should help them move. Again, no we. Anyway, so I looked into the Viagra, and here's the thing. It's really expensive. With Medicare, it's $26 a pill. $26. You know what that means? 43 years of marriage, and I'm going to have to start paying for sex? Again? They talk about getting those 4-hour erections and you got to call your doctor. I'm going to call my dermatologist. She's gorgeous. I was getting a skin check and I told her that I do this joke. She goes, I'll be waiting for your call. That got a little hard when she did that. So some of you people looking and talking to each other going, what's a curmudgeon? Curmudgeon is typically a grumpy old man. Sometimes it's a woman. And if they're non-binary, we call them curmudgeons. My lovable curmudgeon, my wife says it's only half true. So my friend Murray has Parkinson's disease. And before you all start tightening up your butts that I'm going to tell jokes about a serious illness, you need to know my friend Murray loves what I'm about to tell you, because it's true. He's my best friend. We're very, very close. Sometimes it's awkward being really close to Murray. I don't want to be that close. Like when he's opening a beer. Or worse, when he's at the urinal. With a beer. You're like, dude, it's a huge spray zone, you know? You don't know where it's coming from. Our little grandkids play soccer together. We were at a game one day, and I'm standing there with Murray, and I'm looking around. I'm like, dude, your hand's really freaking the little kids out. Can you do something about it? Murray put his hands in his pocket. Murray's court date is next Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been a little slice of heaven. Thank you all for coming out. I'm Joel Brill. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel Brill. Thank you.